Hey guys, G1Xron here, and today we're taking a look at the KO Transformers Masterpiece MP-12J Gold Lambor. As of right now, Takara does not make a gold version of the Masterpiece Lambor. The only way to get this figure is to buy the knockoff. I got mine courtesy of tf-direct.com, so if you're wanting to get this figure for yourself, you can find that in the link in the description. You can also use coupon code HEXATRON5 to get $5 off. Now, starting off with the box here, you can see that this looks something that's more official. It doesn't look like that of a knockoff, or even knockoffs that come with boxes is kind of crazy to me. But this is really nice packaging. If we can kind of put it in the light there, you can see that it's kind of got that nice reflective gold foil there. It says MP-12J here, has the Lamborghini logo, even though it's not officially licensed by them. Also, Transformers Masterpiece. Looking here at the top, you can see that nice reflective gold all over the place. At the side, I'm just going to call him Goldie. You can see Goldie here in his robot mode. You can also see him in his car or alt Countach mode. Here on the bottom, nice gold all over the place. I have no idea what any of this stuff says, but you'll notice that it does not have the official Lamborghini product license little sticker here that you saw with the official things. Also, taking a look at the back, a lot of stuff that I can't read again. A list of its accessories. You can see a nice gold silhouette there of Goldie, and also an Autobot logo that's kind of a little bit more faded. Really nice box. I thought I'd show that off just so you can see everything that you're going to get with the figure. This is the figure himself, and man, he looks really good in gold. You guys know me, I love great gold rain. He's got all that gold chrominess all over him. That's one of my favorite figures, or probably one of my favorite in my collection. This is just kind of hits the spot. I really do like this, and the fact that it's of Lambor, which I think is hands down probably one of the best Masterpiece figures to date. Just because I always look at him as the perfect mold. Now, finally getting a gold version. We'll probably never get this from Takara. I'm glad that I got it. It does roll nice, even on this material here. So you put him on a hard surface, he'll probably even roll even better. All four wheels move. So you do get the car here, which we'll take a little bit better look at and do some comparisons a little bit later on. You also get his shoulder cannon, which this is actually repainted from the Red Alert mold, just because of the fact that when you look on the inside, it's actually red instead of white, just like Red Alert. So you get that. You also get his gun. I'm not really sure which one this is painted off of. Doesn't matter, they're exactly the same. You also get these two pile drivers, which is kind of cool. Same thing with Sideswipe. And then you get, in addition to that, these gold chrominess looking other pile drivers that I think were some type of an exclusive for Red Alert and Sideswipe, or at least Sideswipe. But it's really cool that you get them with this guy, and the fact that they're actually the nice gold chrominess, or the gold plated stuff, which I really do like. Wish the whole figure was like that, but it's still very nice like this. A couple of other things that you get if you want to stick them up with Autobot logos. He does get the Tiger Track Autobot logos, which you can use them for this guy if you want to. I'm probably going to leave them off. Then you can see that you got a nice collector's card here. Same thing on the back, nice gold. It's actually quite thick, so really good quality there. You also get the instructions, pretty basic. I'm going to show you how to transform them, even if you know how to transform them already. I've done the review on this mold twice already, but we're going to do it for you guys that don't know, and also the fact that he's a KO. I want to show you that way if I'm having any difficulty or something's loose, that you absolutely see it on camera. The other thing is he comes with this, which were included with, these little guys. So those are all the things that you're going to get with him. He comes in a clamshell, very nice looking. In his car mode, this guy is pretty much flawless. That's the way that I'm going to leave him, just because that's why I'm not putting any Autobot logos on him. I just wanted him to be kind of a standalone, like nobody knows who he is. He's kind of like a not six shot, but Six Knight, from Super God Master Force, to where you don't know if he's Decepticon, you don't know if it's Autobot. So very cool little car here. As you can see, that everything kind of connects really nice. Now, when it came in package, things weren't put together all the way. So what I did is I transformed him to robot mode, then I put him back into his car mode, and things ended up clicking together a lot better. So if you get this figure in, don't look at him straight out of clamshell packaging and be like, oh, well, things not lined up right. Transform them and then transform them back and it'll probably look better. The one complaint that I do have about this guy in his card mode, and it's just one of those things that it's my particular figure, so yours might not have that problem, but there's a little bit of black chipping or gold chipping right there and right there. Very minor, I know, but I just wanted to point it out, and it's probably just my figure, so none of them are exactly the same, but as you can see, everything looks the same color of gold. Even here on top of the roof where they painted on top of the transparent windows, looks exactly the same here, looks exactly the same over here. Something that I could not say with the official release, Sideswipe here, to where his reds were, you can obviously see it's a different color red, different there's, different there, different there. So that was something that always kind of bugged me with him. Speaking of red alert here, this side, as far as his emblem lining up was fine, but whenever I took it to this side, then it looked like they missed the middle part there. So I had my complaints with these guys as well. So if that's really my only thing for his car mode, then it's not really that big of a deal. It is something that I can probably touch up as well. Now for this comparison, I'm going to just basically focus in on Sideswipe here. Now I know some people were saying that the Lamborghini logo, let's see if I can get that focus for you guys. Yeah, the Lamborghini logo, they were saying that it looks like you just kind of put your pin on it and didn't really try or anything like that, that it didn't look like a Lamborghini logo. It's very small, so I don't know exactly what they were expecting. I mean, it's the same way on the official licensed products as well. So this is the only KO that we're going to be looking at. The other two versions that I have are the Takara Masterpiece. They're actually the real deal. Here on the side, I mean, they just, this figure is so awesome. I love them. So I'm glad to have another version. Hopefully I get the other one here soon. Take a look at the back. One thing that I wanted to point out is, oh, come on, man. Focus for me. Maybe if I move some stuff out of the way, it'll focus for me a little bit better. No? Alright, sorry about that. That's probably about as good as it's going to get. The Lamborghini on this, and also the Countach, it's a little bit thicker writing, to where I think someone said that they think that they misspelt Lamborghini or Countach on here. No, it's spelled correctly. It's just a little bit thinner than what you saw on the official product. So it still says Lamborghini Countach. You can see the taillights look really nice. You can see them here. The same with Sideswipe. So really nice job there. I do dig it. Let's take a look at this guy with a G1 real quick, so you can kind of see for size scale. Same as all the others, but in case you don't have that figure, I wanted to definitely show you. There he is again. Now, as far as the accessories to go in his car mode, it does have the gun little gimmick to where it can fit in here. It's a little bit tight just because of the paint, like especially the very first time I did it. So just kind of do it a couple times and you'll have no problem. So just put that in there. You can plug this into the top here, and this moves up and down, so it's not loose or anything. Wherever you position it, it's going to stay there. Never been a big fan of the the guns on top, but yeah, there it is. So let's get a group shot real quick here, and then we'll get into the transformation. We got Sideswipe and Riddler. We'll go ahead and grab these guys as well. Put them in there, and then we have also our G2. So let's go ahead and get to the transformation part of it, and we'll take a look at Robot as well. All right, now to get this guy into his robot mode, first thing we're going to do is grab these front tires and pull those in, just like so. You're going to grab these side panels, which are going to become his arms, or you could consider them the doors in this mode, just like so. Push down right here, because these two tabs right there, you don't want to break them, so it just takes a little bit of the pressure off of them. That's something that I've always recommended. Come forward a little bit, slide out with this, and that will just kind of all hang out there just like so. Then we're going to grab the legs, flip the spoiler out with, which is actually, yeah, this right here. You're going to spin this around all the way and just kind of move that out of the way. And that'll go all the way just like so. It'll spin 180, do the same with this one, kind of rotate that. And then you can bring these legs open. Coming around here, just make sure these things are out of the way for the meantime. You're going to open a panel right there. It's actually quite stiff there. That's nice. Then you can see that there's a little peg right here. There's a hole in this first little black section, and then there's a tab up under my fingernail that's going to tab on top here. So just kind of line that stuff up. There we go, got in that hole, and put that up under there. And then you're going to come forward with that section. It's just going to rest up there. Do the same thing with this one. Come down with that. Fit that in that hole. And make sure that's, this wheel little tab is on top. And come forward with that. Then you can come forward with the feet. The heel spurs are located inside. And then you can come back with the spoiler. Alright, so there are the legs done. You can flip the little waist section down here as well. Now, to show a couple of things that I modified on mine before we did the review. Also saw a couple of people say they had trouble fitting this peg into this hole, which is up underneath the license plate. And if it doesn't peg in, then he's just going to flop around all over the place, and it's going to, every time you try to position him, he's not going to look right. So what I did is, it just had a little bit of extra plastic in there. So what I did is I just took a razor blade and, or X-Acto knife, and I just kind of made it a little bit bigger. Now it pegs on there just fine. The other thing that I noticed is, where is that piece? Oh yeah. I'm going to come back with this section here. And I noticed that this doesn't really snap into place. On the other two figures, because I've already transformed them, when you come back this way, it kind of gives you kind of a click. It doesn't have that. The other thing is, whenever this piece right here would come over and it would kind of click over this, it was, I don't know, it was either this is too thick or it wasn't making the clearance there. So what I did, and it was kind of pushing the back this way. So what I did is I took my X-Acto knife and I just, since it wasn't going to click over it anyway, I just got rid of the little notch. So those are the only two modifications that I made with the figure. So if you're having trouble with yours, that's how you fix it. Very simple. It took me about 1 minute, or about half a minute really. But go ahead and come back with this section, then collapse that forward. We can come around with this section, and now it will get in. Get it in there. There we go. Got him there in the front. So if you are having problems with that, that's how I fixed mine. It's not the best. Sometimes it does come a little loose there, but at least it will click into place now. Come down with the arms and you rotate all that stuff. Do the same thing with this one. Break that apart. Rotate that. Come up that way. You can fold his little head forward. With the back section here, this is actually loose here on this rod, so this moves real freely. It's not as tight as the other ones, but it doesn't hinder anything, so it's not a problem. You can fold those little windows forward and collapse those. So the only thing is sometimes it kind of swings back like that, but if you're not messing, once you're done messing with them, you're ready to take a picture or set them on your shelf, just put it there and you're fine. It just there you go. All right, and revealing his, well, before we get into his hands, I guess we will get into his little pile driver things. I'll just put one on each so you can kind of get the general idea. And those just plug onto there. And put this one on here. There we go. So those fit on there nicely, no problems there. Here's what I was talking about. Yeah, get that guy on there. So once you get him all situated, I mean, he's not bad. He just needs a little bit of help. You know, a couple of mods, and you'll be good. But there he is in his robot mode, and let's see if I can get him balanced a little bit better. There we go. But yeah, looks really nice. A couple of things that I wanted to point out. Bring in Red Alert here, and also Sideswipe. The actual head here, or the face part, is actually from Sideswipe. The reason why, you know, I see the difference is because with the eyes on Sideswipe, they come in at an angle and then they come out. So there's actually a point. On the Red Alert figure, they come in, come down, and then go out. So there's like an extra little line there. So his face is actually his, or I'm sorry, is his, but the top section is actually Sideswipe's, because you'll notice that the ears are different here on Red Alert. As far as the chest, it's probably the same on all of them. As far as the arms, it's obviously, or the shoulders, it's obviously Sideswipe's, just because Red Alert has the tires there. The rest of the arms, they could have used whatever, just because at first I thought they were Red Alerts, but this is actually a little bit darker color red than Red Alert here has. You can kind of see it on camera, but this is definitely darker than Red Alert here. As far as the waist section, I assume they use him, just, you know, darker. Same thing with the waist and the legs. But those are the really only things that I wanted to point out that were, you know, which particular mold they got that idea from, or got that, you know, piece from. All right, moving him to the side, and let's take a look at him with his other weapons. Get his fist, you just open that up, flip those out. The same with this. And we'll just put his shoulder cannon on this side here. There we go. And that's the, I can probably widen that a little bit more. Maybe I didn't do it enough to make him fit in there snug. But just get all that stuff situated. And put his gun in his hand. Not even the official ones hold him very well, so he does sometimes, but I don't want to fool with it anymore. But not too bad. As far as, you know, overall look, and this guy sitting on your shelf, I mean, he does look awesome. I do dig it a lot. If you're a Lambor fan, you're definitely going to like this guy, or you know, just any of the Masterpiece figures. And because he's kind of his own thing. You know, he's not trying to be Sideswipe or Red Alert or G2 or Tiger Track. You know, he's just his own thing. And the only way you can get this is to get the knockoff. So as far as the quality, it's not as good as Takara, but it's not that bad. Other than a couple of things, you know, the one thing that I mentioned there with the paint on the car, which, you know, that's my particular figure. Heard a couple of people say they had some trouble with the chest, so just get a razor blade in there and kind of cut that out, make that hole a little bit bigger, and he'll fit in there better. And the other thing is this, it's just kind of a little bit floppy there. Other than that, and you know, you notice if you're not handling it, you know, it doesn't fall down. So even if I, you know, hold it like this, it's not falling down, so it's just me touching it. So really good figure, do dig them. One last comparison, we'll just bring in these guys for a final shot. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. And if you want to pick this figure up for yourself, again, you can find it, link in the description at tf-direct.com. And if you use the coupon code Hexatron5, you end up getting $5 off. So talk to you guys later. Have a nice day, and peace.